If you are living in the United States right now, you have probably asked this question at least once. Is it cheaper to build your own home, or should you just buy one that is already built? This question has become even more serious after 2020. Home prices increased across most U.S. states. Construction costs also increased. Land prices moved. Labor costs changed. Material prices became unstable. So, what is actually cheaper today in America? Let's break it down professionally and practically. When people think about building a home, they usually imagine saving money by skipping the builder's profit. The idea sounds simple. Buy land, hire contractors, manage the process, save money. In reality, the U.S. housing system works very differently. In most U.S. markets, production builders construct dozens or even hundreds of homes every year. They buy lumber in bulk. They negotiate long-term supply contracts. They use the same floor plans repeatedly. They already have established subcontractor teams. This scale reduces their cost per square foot. A single individual building one custom home does not have this advantage. Recent U.S. construction cost data shows the national average cost to build a home often ranges between $150 to $220 per square foot for standard construction. In higher-cost states like California, Washington, or parts of the Northeast, that number can exceed $250 per square foot, depending on location and finish level. Now, compare this to buying. In many suburban markets in Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona, production homes in new communities often sell between $140 to $200 per square foot, depending on location and upgrades. This shows something important. Builders often sell close to or sometimes below the cost that a single homeowner would pay to build independently. Let's go deeper. When you buy an existing home, the price includes land, utilities, permits, infrastructure, driveway, landscaping, and completed interior finishes. Everything is packaged together. When you build, you pay separately for each component. Land is the first cost. In many U.S. metro areas, developed lots inside desirable school districts are limited. Builders often secure land years in advance. Individual buyers usually purchase available parcels at retail pricing. Then come site preparation costs. Clearing trees, grading, soil testing, utility connections, impact fees, and local permit fees. In many counties across the U.S., permit and impact fees alone can range from $10,000 to $40,000 depending on location. These are real operational costs inside county systems. Next is project funding structure during construction. Many individuals use staged funding arrangements where capital is released as construction progresses. This means money is allocated in phases based on completed work. During the build period, carrying costs exist until the home is fully completed. Large builders operate under different capital structures at scale. Their cost management systems are structured across multiple projects at once. Labor is another factor. Skilled labor shortages continue in many U.S. states. Electricians, plumbers, framers, and HVAC installers are booked months in advance in fast-growing regions. A production builder can schedule crews efficiently across multiple homes. A single custom build may face delays, and delays increase cost. Material pricing volatility also matters. Lumber prices surged in recent years and later stabilized, but windows, concrete, roofing materials, and mechanical systems still reflect inflation adjustments. Large builders manage supply risk more efficiently than individuals. Now let's talk about customization. Building allows you to choose layout, finishes, ceiling heights, kitchen configuration, insulation levels, and energy systems. Buying an existing home may require renovations to match your taste. Renovation costs in the U.S. are significant. Kitchen remodels commonly range from $25,000 to $70,000 depending on size and quality. There is also the time factor. Building a home in the U.S. typically takes 7 to 12 months depending on region and weather. During this period, you may be paying rent or living in temporary housing. That is an additional real cost. Buying an existing home allows occupancy shortly after closing. Time has financial value. Now let's answer the core question honestly. In many established suburban U.S. markets, buying a production home from a reputable builder is usually more cost-efficient than managing a fully custom build yourself. The economies of scale favor large builders. However, in certain rural areas where land is inexpensive and labor costs are moderate, building can be financially competitive. This is especially true when the buyer already owns land or has access to trusted contractors at controlled pricing. Urban infill construction often becomes expensive due to land scarcity and strict zoning regulations. In those cases, buying existing property may provide better value per square foot. Another important factor is appraisal alignment. When you build custom in a neighborhood dominated by older homes, the final appraised value may not fully reflect your construction cost. Valuations are based on comparable sales. Overbuilding relative to surrounding properties can limit immediate equity positioning. Production neighborhoods are designed to support resale comparables. That supports valuation consistency. So is building cheaper than buying in the United States? In many mainstream metro areas, building fully custom is often more expensive per square foot than purchasing an existing or production home. There are exceptions in rural markets and specific land ownership situations. The stronger financial decision depends on land cost, labor access, local regulations, capital structure, and how much customization you truly require. This is a cost structure decision inside the U.S. housing system. Before you decide to build your own home in the United States, you need to understand the full financial structure beyond just cost per square foot. Most people compare only two numbers: listing price of an existing home versus estimated construction cost. That comparison is incomplete. Let's examine the full framework professionals use. The first layer is land acquisition structure. If you buy land inside a new subdivision, the lot price already includes roads, drainage systems, sidewalks, utility installation, engineering, and local approvals. Developers invest heavily before selling lots. Those costs are reflected in the retail lot price. If you buy raw land outside a subdivision, the purchase price may appear lower. However, you might need to pay for septic systems, well installation, electrical extension, driveway construction, soil testing, surveys, and zoning compliance. In some U.S. counties, extending utilities can cost tens of thousands of dollars depending on distance from main lines. Many first-time builders underestimate these numbers. The second layer is construction agreement structure. In the U.S., custom homes are commonly built under fixed-price agreements or cost-plus agreements. Fixed-price agreements define a total amount based on approved plans and specifications. Changes during construction trigger formal change orders. Change orders increase cost quickly. Cost-plus agreements charge actual cost of labor and materials, plus a builder management fee, often between 10% to 20%. If material costs rise or delays occur, total project cost increases. Production builders reduce uncertainty because pricing is standardized across communities. The third layer is timeline exposure. Construction delays increase expenses. Weather interruptions in northern states can slow foundation work. Inspection backlogs in fast-growing counties delay progress. Supply chain disruptions affect windows, garage doors, HVAC equipment, and specialty finishes. Every additional month increases overall carrying costs during the project period. Buying an existing home transfers that timeline exposure away from you. The fourth layer is design efficiency. Production builders optimize floor plans for cost efficiency. They minimize wasted hallway space, align plumbing walls to reduce pipe runs, standardize roof lines to lower framing complexity, and bulk purchase identical fixtures. Custom designs often increase structural complexity. Vaulted ceilings, large glass panels, multi-level roof transitions, and unique exterior finishes increase labor intensity. Higher complexity increases cost per square foot. The fifth layer is resale positioning. In the U.S. resale market, buyers compare homes by neighborhood and recent comparable sales. If your custom home significantly exceeds neighborhood pricing levels, future resale value may not immediately reflect your full investment. Homes inside planned communities benefit from consistent pricing models and shared amenities. The sixth layer is property taxes. New construction assessments often reflect updated market value upon completion. In some states, reassessment occurs after sale. Understanding local property tax systems matters when calculating long-term ownership cost. The seventh layer is energy efficiency and maintenance. New homes built under current energy codes often have better insulation, newer HVAC systems, and lower maintenance in early years. That reduces short-term repair expenses. Buying an older home may require roof replacement, plumbing updates, electrical panel upgrades, or foundation work. These costs vary widely across regions. Now consider real U.S. market behavior. In states like Texas and Florida, large builders operate extensive communities on the outskirts of metro areas. Land is acquired in bulk. Infrastructure is pre-planned. Homes are built in phases. Because of scale, these builders sometimes offer pricing that individual custom projects struggle to match. In rural Midwest counties where land costs are lower and zoning is flexible, building on owned land can be cost-effective if contractor selection and design efficiency are controlled carefully. In high-cost coastal states, both land and labor push construction costs significantly higher. Buying an existing home in an established neighborhood may provide more stable value per dollar invested. Now the direct answer. Is building cheaper than buying in America today? For many buyers in suburban metro areas, purchasing an existing or production home often results in lower total financial exposure compared to managing a full custom build from scratch. For landowners in lower-cost regions with reliable contractor access, building can make financial sense when costs are controlled and design complexity is limited. The common mistake is assuming that removing a builder automatically reduces total cost. Large builders operate on economies of scale that individuals rarely replicate. If your priority is maximum customization and long-term personal preference, building may align with that goal. If your priority is financial efficiency within the U.S. housing structure, buying strategically in the right neighborhood often provides stronger cost predictability. This decision requires reviewing land pricing, local labor availability, permit and impact fees, project capital structure, timeline flexibility, resale comparables, property tax implications. Professionals evaluate all these variables before committing significant capital. One more important point. Cash reserve stability during construction matters. Unexpected overruns can strain liquidity. Maintaining a contingency reserve of at least 10% to 15% of total projected cost is common practice in U.S. custom builds. Without that buffer, financial pressure increases quickly. Building is not automatically cheaper. Buying is not automatically better. The financially sound choice depends on market location, cost control discipline, and structural planning. Make the decision after analyzing full numbers and local market behavior.